And protests continue nationwide. President Trump is ordering an expansion of mass deportations, ordering immigration officials to focus their efforts on sanctuary cities.
To a certain generation, this may look pretty familiar, and that's because today's immigration crackdowns come after two similar events in our history.
Yeah, but first, we want to give you a warning. Some of the language you're about to hear may be disturbing. Here's CBS 13's Esteban Reynoso.
Close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country.
That promise, a cornerstone of Donald Trump's campaign to secure his return to the White House and surpass the number of deportations from the 1950s.
We will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
And so the address runs its course.
In his first State of the Union address, President Eisenhower signaled a new approach to immigration reform.
It is a manifest right of our government to limit the number of immigrants our nation can absorb. It is also a manifest right of our government to set reasonable requirements on the character and the numbers of the people who come to share our land and our freedom.
The following year, on June 17, 1954, Eisenhower's Operation Wetback kicked off in farm fields of California, the racist term used at the time to describe Mexicans who entered the U.S. illegally through the Rio Grande. Elvia Ramirez is a professor of ethnic studies at Sac State. She says the deportation of more than 1 million people, including American citizens, came at a time of another American policy.
So the Bracero program was a labor importation program that was entered, it was an agreement entered into by the United States as well as Mexico. This was a time of war. The U.S. needed workers.
Between 1942 and 1964, the Bracero program brought in over 4 million temporary Mexican workers. But it also led to the dramatic increase of illegal immigration due to cheap labor. Professor Ramirez says Mexican workers became easy targets.
You know, whenever there's economic difficulty, one of the first things that the country does is target immigrants as scapegoats.
Jobs are scarce, hunger is common. The nation's sense of security has been shaken.
In the 1930s, a similar event unfolded. The federal government kicked off a wave of deportations under the Mexican Repatriation Act during the Great Depression. The expulsion of more than 1 million people, including a large number of U.S. citizens of Mexican descent. Professor Ramirez says the large-scale operation impacted families and their communities.
Mexican towns are essentially obliterated, left without people. And so, yeah, so Mexican immigrants were also targeted.
Protests against Trump's immigration raids continue nationwide. Now, while some are more intense than others, Professor Ramirez has hope these demonstrations will bring about change like they have in the past.
Show me what democracy looks like!
You know, the civil rights movement was built on protest activity, and that is how we were able to achieve significant progress in the field of race relations, right?
Certainly chilling to see the comparisons there. Another point Professor Ramirez makes is that even though Trump's immigration policies may seem harsh to some, she says Barack Obama still holds the lead with the most deportations.
Yeah, you'll remember during his first 2 terms in office, Obama deported more than 3 million non-citizens.